It's another episode of That Stupid Podcast. This one is called Nintendo, Smartphones, and Quizzes. Oh my! Nintendo, are they going to merge with another company? Did you know Lenovo bought Motorola from Google? It was a crazy week in tech. We got all that and a whole lot more coming right up. So stick around. Welcome back. Yet another wonderful segment of that thing that we do every single week.
It's the only thing we do every single week, and
yeah, you're right. It is the only thing we do every single week.
Do you want to give them the title for any new people?
So, if you don't know, we're gonna snope something for you.
I'm gonna snope something for you. Yeah. Also, my voice is back in case you can't tell.
Yeah, he can speak.
I can talk to you people after TV, radio, internet around. Anyway, so on to the snope thing.
So apparently, and this is something I'd seen before several years ago, it's resurfaced this month, and apparently Obama, thanks Obama, is buying temporary plastic coffins for all FEMA campsites.
That's really awesome for him to do that, so that we can not put them in banana boxes.
Right, so, you know, you have a natural disaster, they'll just throw them in a coffin.
I mean, you gotta put dead bodies somewhere, right?
Well, you do, yeah.
So this has got to be true. So where do I get my plastic coffin from FEMA?
I swear, like, the internet gives me migraines. It really does. Like, the stupidity that's out there. So first of all, and I'm actually going to show you a picture of the plastic coffins. You'll see it somewhere in this area when I post the edits, but they're not coffins. Now, what they are, however, are coffin liners.
Okay.
And they're not for FEMA, and they weren't bought by the damn government.
Government. Yeah. America.
It's not true. None of the story, like at least sometimes there's a grain of truth that starts. This is 100% fiction.
It's basically playing Chinese telephone as a child,
right?
And I'm sure that's a really racist comment, but I don't know what else we're supposed to call that. Maybe it's just called telephone. I don't know. And I just made a real. Yeah, we'll cut that out. But anyways,
send all hate mail to redjeans at thatstupidpodcast.com. So
we accept English too. So
So
what's the story behind this?
So here it is, right here. This is the picture. All right, and basically, this picture was taken several years ago originally, and what it is not actually a FEMA camp.
I was going to say that doesn't really look like a FEMA camp.
Right. It's
yeah. It's
like what? So, nevertheless, this originally started back in 2008. And there was a picture on the internet. It came out of, like, Georgia, I think, originally. And someone posted this picture, and it started this link. It's supposed to be about FEMA, and this was, forget the particular natural disaster. It might have been Hurricane Katrina, actually, now that I think about it.
At the beginning, as it started coming in.
So, what this is, though, is in very southern states. I don't mean Tennessee. I mean the bottom of Georgia there. And Florida.
He's talking about the balls, taint, and dick of the U.S.
Where the water table's very, very, very high.
Yeah.
And in fact, there are a lot of you can't bury people in parts of Florida.
You can't.
You don't. But in places where you can, they put these liners in the ground.
I'm starting to put this one together in my head here.
So. Now, grave liners are not new. Grave liners usually are concrete. They'll pour a concrete slab down there, concrete walls. You put the coffin inside that. These grave liners, they're not. They're basically like Rubbermaid trash cans, essentially, and they go in the ground. And that's what this was. This was a facility.
And this is basically to make sure dead people don't rise up out the ground and start floating around all over the place.
Pretty much, yeah. So
that'd be gross.
That would really not be good. And that's what these are. They're Tupperware, essentially.
They're Tupperware for dead people.
For dead people.
Good to know.
So, and dead people don't go directly in the Tupperware. The coffin goes in the Tupperware.
No, I'm putting dead people directly directly
into
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
We don't need coffins. This is actually, you know what? These are cheapo coffins. If you want your cheapo coffins, call 480-STUPID-9.
Yeah, we'll hook you up with FEMA, and they'll
give you some Obama coffins.
They'll cut you a deal. They'll cut you a deal.
And then you will say, "Thanks, Obama, for saving me so much money on my cheapo coffins from FEMA."
Absolutely, totally. So, really, it's not a long story. I didn't have much to say. It's just mostly don't believe everything you read on the fucking internet.
We have to preach this.
I shouldn't have to say this all the time, but I seem like I'm saying it all the time.
Well, I love that your story is coming out of Georgia.
Uh-oh.
Because mine is also coming out of Georgia.
I didn't realize. You showed me this video before a podcast. I didn't know this was Georgia, but that makes more sense now.
Okay, this is, as far as I know, the original video started in Atlanta. People are convinced that the snow that just happened.
See, I had a lot higher expectations out of Atlanta.
I don't. Have you ever been to Atlanta?
I know people in Atlanta. I have friends in Atlanta.
Every city.
My favorite young
Atlanta, Florida.
My new favorite young author, actually, she's in Atlanta.
They have shitty people and stupid people everywhere.
Oh, that's true. You have a point.
So what happened is there's the big snow apocalypse, Snowmageddon, that just destroyed because it destroyed essentially the East Coast as far as the South goes is considered.
Yeah.
And people are claiming...
So can I interrupt you for a second?
Go ahead.
I want to talk about snowpocalypse. This has nothing to do with Snopes, but I want to call somebody out.
Okay.
There was a brain surgeon...
the guy who walked 6 miles.
In Alabama. The only brain surgeon at this particular hospital, and I don't remember the name of the hospital.
He's probably the only brain surgeon in Alabama.
He might be the only one in Alabama. Anyway, he was at one medical center that he works at, and he's the only brain surgeon for the other one. He got an urgent call that there was a guy, I don't know if it was an accident or whatever, but needed... brain surgery. Immediate brain surgery. And he's like, well, I'll head out. Yep. He does get in his car. He starts to drive out. And like everybody else, he only made it a couple of blocks. Mm-hmm. So he calls the on-call nurse at the other hospital. And he's like, I'm going to walk.
Stuck in traffic.
I'm going to walk.
And he did.
So she freaks out. She calls the police to like, you need to go look for this guy. This guy's walking in the freaking snow.
He's a brain surgeon who's kind of important to us.
So he walks in the snow, and the police never found him, and he shows up in the hospital. And the first thing out of his mouth, what's the status? He goes.
And he walked right in, scrubbed up, cleaned up, did the surgery, saved the guy's life.
Saved the guy's life. The guy's fine. And, it's still at the hospital. Actually, as of this taping, hasn't left since Tuesday morning. He's been doing other things, sleeping at the hospital, doing whatnot. I mean that's...
Sometimes that's just what doctors do, but especially considering we're thinking about getting another big snow apocalypse come Friday.
Right. So, Alabama, for your next parade or this thing,
guy.
If you need like a, what do they call those guys? The Grand Marshals or whatever, give that dude a call.
Yeah, so when you guys get that SEC trophy, wait, you won't! Suck it! Tennessee
wow.
Anyways, back to the Snopes article. So it started in Atlanta.
Yep.
The snow fell and people were going outside and they were crunching snow up in their hand. So they're compressing it. They would take it inside in their hand and take a butane lighter to it. And they were shocked when the snow didn't melt or drip and it got black stuff all over it. So immediately the government is blamed.
Thanks,
because
Obama.
we're in the South, and because we're all insane conspiracy theorists.
It's true. We kind of are.
They blamed chemtrails. They blamed plastic snow manufactured by the government, which was to test dropping of chemicals across very large social areas.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna brainwash us with crazy snow or something like that. They blamed a lot of weird stuff. But what they didn't do, apparently, is pass chemistry class and or,
the third grade.
Pretty much know anything about how fire and snow works. When you grab snow up, depending on what type of snow it was, and the snow we got and Atlanta got wasn't regular snow. It wasn't nice, fluffy, oh, look at this nice, delicious snow.
No, it was poisoned by the government.
No, it wasn't poisoned by the government.
Oh.
It was mixed with ice, for one.
Yeah, well, totally.
So when you compress
I still had that shit on my walkway.
I know. When you compress... Yeah, which is... I almost died coming in here.
Sorry.
When you compress it in your hand, it basically makes this tiny ice ball.
Ball of ice.
If you look at how they're holding it, if it was snow that would just melt, it would have fallen apart in their hand.
Right.
So they take a butane lighter to it. Now, butane is, of all the gases that are burnable or combustible, it's the dirtiest gas there is.
It's gross.
Which is why it leaves the soot and black marks on there. It's not because the snow's made out of plastic. You're an idiot. Now, the reason it doesn't drip. Okay. Well, it's called sublimation or sublimation. And if you've ever seen dry ice, then you know that it turns from a solid to a gas. When the snow's packed hard enough to actually create what's a capillary effect,
Okay.
and you do that, the water instead of moving outwards actually moves inwards. It's drawn inwards to the unheated parts of the snow, which is why it doesn't drip. That's why it doesn't break. That's why it doesn't, melt magically. However, if you were to take it over to an open flame, like a warmth area, or if you put a Zippo to it, guess what happens? It'll freaking melt. Shocking how science works. So,
Wow.
Again, don't believe everything that you see on the internet, because I had local people posting videos of this.
Oh.
It hit Atlanta. It hit Alabama. It hit freaking Tennessee. It definitely hit Kentucky. Really, Kentucky? I don't expect a lot out of you. I expect you to not fuck your sister, and I expect you to maybe pass enough of an education to go work in a factory. But Jesus, Christmas trees. I blame the entire South for this one. I'm not just calling out Alabama, Kentucky, or Georgia. Tennessee's to blame as too. It's disgusting, and I'm really upset, and I'm really disappointed.
Very sad.
Yeah. So, the biggest rule of Snopes, don't trust everything you see on the damn internet.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's just... And don't get me started on chemtrails form into clouds that cause acid rain that will kill your cat.
Because that's how it works.
Yeah.
I read that online on Facebook. So it must be true.
Has the vein popped yet? Because it feels like
if it wasn't for my horse, I never would have made it through that 1 year of college. That's all I'm going to say. And if you don't get that reference, go Google it. So that's this week on...
Let me snow something for you.
That's right. So, Steven. Rev. I want to talk
Ashton,
about
RJ.
something that will be out now.
Uh-oh. It will be out. By the time you see the show.
By the time you see this show, it'll be out.
Right.
We're filming on Saturday, February 1st. And Facebook is they're releasing a new app on Monday called Facebook Paper.
Paper. Hey, wait. I have an app called Paper.
I'm pretty sure that everybody has an app called Paper.
I don't use Paper that much.
I don't use it ever.
I use other apps like... anything else really.
I was going to say any other news article app that is...
Well, I mean, so I use...
you got Reddit, you got...
Well, yeah, I do use Reddit, but like for apps-wise, my favorite news app so far is Flipboard. I know a lot of people don't like Flipboard.
I don't use it.
But I love Flipboard.
I read news on my phone for the most part, so this is all...
But for what people use Paper for, I actually use... it used to be called Read It Later.
I know what it is, yeah.
I can't remember. And I always forget the new name of the app, but I still have it.
I've always called it Read It Later.
Yeah, that's what I use for that. So
Facebook is coming out with Paper. That is their new app. It's Facebook Paper. It allows you to take news from any of the pages you like, any of your friends,
right,
and actual news sources,
right, like USA Today, Wall Street Journal,
that are pushing to Facebook Paper.
It's basically just an RSS aggregator, like everything else is. It's not special.
But here's why it's going to be a miserable failure, and why I don't care about it at all.
Because Facebook's making it.
Well, yeah, Facebook's making it. For one, if you can't show me what I want to see on my news feed on Facebook,
right?
How are you going to show me what I want to see on another app for reading about news?
Right, exactly. No, I totally,
so I'm going to put my friends in this little list and stuff, and it's going to show me nothing for them, just like it does on my news feed.
Yeah, no,
I
totally agree with you, man. I think Paper's just... I think it's a failure. I think, I'm not a fan, and what can I tell you? It's not a great... You're looking at me funny. Sorry.
Yeah. It's not like we're trying to do a segment or anything here, are we? No. I assumed that we were trying to do a segment, and I know what you're doing down there. Okay, so, folks, I want to talk about a serious problem that both Steven and I have. Yeah. And it's a serious problem because we can't get any work done because he's always playing this damn game.
Hold on a minute. I'm getting there. I need to find this. Here we go. All right.
This is my not amused face.
Oh,
this is why we can't have writers' meetings. This is why we can't actually get the show done on time.
Oh, this guy might beat me, too. Oh, I lost.
And he lost. So, to be fair, he deserved that. So the app... you know what? No, I'll let you do it. The paper segment's throwaway. It's
fine. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Just tell him about the damn app.
So... I'm going to give you my app of the week, I guess, apparently.
You're going to give the app of the week. Because the paper is just... I'm going to table flip, and we're done.
It's called Shakes and Fidget. If you don't know what Shakes and Fidget is, it's probably a good thing.
Because then you're not addicted to it like we are, because we probably play it I know I play almost every day.
Oh, almost.
Six days out of the week.
7 of the days of the week
I try and do 7, but there's always going to be a day that I'll just slump off on. It's probably Sundays usually.
It's 11 o'clock at night before the midnight rollover. I'm getting my minutes in.
So do you know where Shakes and Fidget came from?
Actually, I don't. I got into this game much later than you did, actually.
And I didn't know anything about the game either until recently, and I went and looked up stuff on the internets.
Uh-oh.
Shockingly.
Shoot me. Tell me.
Shakes and Fidget is a German webcomic about these adventurers. You can't get it translated in English at
I don't care. I have to go find this comic now.
It's out there.
Oh, hell yeah.
The company who made this game, what it is it's a time-based RPG.
Yeah.
It's a game you play while doing other stuff.
Right.
You go on quests, you go on missions.
Or in my case, you lose while doing other stuff.
Or you play while we're trying to do the damn show.
I just lost rank points because it...
Well, that's karma. But you go on these quests, you gain experience, you gain gold.
Right.
You can buy equipment, you can buy all sorts of stuff.
So I just hit level 200 today.
Jerk.
Yeah, I'm higher than him now.
He is higher than me. I don't play for experience. I go for gold to keep an all-around character. So
I have an all-around character, and I don't always get my butt kicked in the arena.
All right. So tell him about the game.
Yeah. So basically, like RJ said, it's a turn-based game. This is essentially all of the fun play bits without the story. If you remember the old Final Fantasy game, like Final Fantasy 3. Mm-hmm. This is like Final Fantasy 3 without a story.
I don't like to think about it like that. Do you know what I like to think about it as? This is World of Warcraft, except I don't have to read. I don't have to sit in front of my computer. I don't have to go find monsters that won't respawn for like an hour.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
So you go on quests, you work jobs when you're not on quest to make gold, and then you fight dungeon levels. I'm in level 5 or 6 of the tower now. I'm in a guild. I'm an officer in a guild.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Well, they had a contest in December. The guild master did. The person who got the most levels that month from start to finish became an officer. And I was on fire in December. I jumped 52 levels in December.
Wow.
Yeah.
That explains exactly how he passed me.
Yeah.
He got a little bit of encouragement there.
I mean, I went...
Now, I should also mention that Shakes and Fidget has a very active community.
Oh, huge.
For every single server. Their forums are... If that's your thing... If
I'm on server 7, you're on...
Server 9.
Server 9.
So I'm on a low-populated server, which is good for me. I like my server a lot.
Right.
I mean, I'm in one of the top 3 guilds. I can't complain.
Yeah, my guild's number 8 right now. We hit 6 for a while, but we're doing some restructuring.
My guild talks every day.
Oh, yeah.
They send out mails about their any of the attacks that we're doing.
Yep.
But the forums, it's for everybody. They're hugely active.
You can get to those if you just search Shakes and Fidget on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's hard to say out loud fast.
Well, Shakes and Fidget on Facebook, or just Google search Shakes and Fidget.
Yeah.
It'll take you to the website. Now, that's another thing I want to discuss.
Yeah.
You can play the game on mobile.
Right. Android, iOS, or on your PC.
On your PC. And that was one of the big draws for me, is because sometimes when I'm away from my desk, I'll play it on my phone.
When I'm at my desk, I'm PC.
I'm always on PC.
It's in the third monitor.
There are some things that you can do on the PC that you can't do.
Well, like for one, you can't open the toilet when you're already on a quest unless you're on the PC.
Yeah,
you have to do it from there.
PC.
And if you don't know what the toilet is, you should play the game.
You can't get to the secret magic room.
Yes, you can.
On the phone.
Yes, you can.
Show me.
All right. So
I'm about to get shut down here.
You're about to get shut down.
I'm already logged in.
All right.
So Magic Shop.
Go to Magic Shop. Click that little book with the red tag.
Oh, look at that! No way! I did not.
Boom.
I didn't think you could get here. That red tag used to not be there, was it?
Drop some knowledge.
Wow. Well, I am. That's
there's nothing you can't do. It's just like the toilet thing. You have to not be in a quest or working.
I assumed you couldn't get to that room because I swear that red tag was not there a couple days ago.
Right. No, it's been there. It's been there for a few weeks.
Okay. All right.
I promise.
I'll trust him on this.
I promise.
But Shakes and Fidget's also free. That's another big
totally
draw
free.
About it.
100%. You don't have to even. They have just like a lot of games. They do have a premium currency for them. It's mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. Have you bought any?
I have not actually ever bought any mushrooms.
But I want to. Like, I feel like I've been playing this game. I've been playing it for over a year now.
But
I feel like they deserve my money.
On the I'll probably spend $10 at some point to buy mushrooms.
Yeah, that's probably my limit.
But the reason I haven't bought any is because they give free mushrooms away if you watch a little video,
for gratis,
which does support them, by the way. I mean, it's an ad-supported. It's ad revenue for them. And some days I only get 2 or 3 mushrooms.
Some days you'll get like 30.
Yeah, it's amazing. They'll just keep coming and keep coming. And
now we should also mention that when you go on quests, you'll also randomly receive mushrooms
sometimes
as you complete quests.
Just one, but still, it's a mushroom.
And if you play on the PC, another thing you can do on the PC that you can't do on the phone, when you go on quests, sometimes you'll see a
flying TV.
It's a flying TV.
Right.
It's the enchanted television.
Right.
You can click it for an ad-supported video.
Yeah, I will say, actually, in general, I don't know. Can you do any gratis on the phone? I don't think you can. Yeah, I didn't think you could any. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I'd never tried. I always do it on the PC.
Again, we play a lot on PC. We play a lot on our phones, too. Like, absolutely.
Totally. But I play more iPad than phone, but if I'm out, I don't take even though it's an iPad mini and I love my iPad mini, I don't always take it with me.
Another benefit of the game is that on weekends, 3 weekends out of the... No, actually, it's every weekend now.
Every weekend they do a special weekend. Although for the last 2 weekends, and this one and last one, it was a damn epic weekend. I hate the epic weekends.
Awful. They're pretty much the worst thing ever.
I want to go... I need another gold weekend, damn it.
I love gold weekends.
Experience weekends are good too, but I love the gold weekends.
I'll take experience or gold weekends.
Well, anything over the epic
Actually, I'll even take mushroom weekends too.
Mushroom weekends are good. Yep.
Those are really good because then the gratis videos are like cranked
way up.
Yeah, and then they do that because their advertisers give them chunks of change based on around that because they know that people will go watch these videos.
The graphics aren't amazing, but they don't have to be. It's a fun little game. It's if you like turn-based role-playing games.
Yeah, if you like role-playing games at all, in my opinion.
So the only reason I have to add turn-based is because for people who don't play turn-based RPGs, like if you're familiar with World of Warcraft,
no, I mean I feel that this is very World of Warcraft.
See, and it is, but
it's not hack and slash.
Right, it's not hack and slash.
This
isn't WoW.
Quest, it alerts me.
This
10
isn't
minutes after,
EverQuest.
I go right
This isn't anything like that. This is, and that's why I said Final Fantasy 3.
It is an MMO though.
No, it is an MMO in a sense.
I mean, I would consider it. There's PvP, you quest, you level up, you do all that shebang.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would consider it a very low level MMO.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I mean,
absolutely, we've both been playing it. Actually, a lot of people we know play it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and it's addicting.
So I'm surprised you didn't get me onto this game, but it was actually Dr. Beth. You'll see in one of our other shows.
Beth and Ted got me hooked on it.
Yeah. And they've been on. Now I'm catching up. She finally passed Ted. She's like 254, I think.
You can pass easily. Like if you really, I'm
up to 200. I'm gonna get on them. I'm getting up there. I'm gonna be the biggest in the guild.
All right.
I'm getting there. So.
But I would say that's our review for this week.
I mean, it's just a fun. It's just game. A fun.
It's free.
You don't have to think about it. You can just it's just a nice time waster.
If you've ever played Eve, you will absolutely understand how this game works.
That's a really good example.
Game you play while you play other games.
Yep, exactly.
So but it doesn't have long time.
It's the game you play while you're doing X. I mean, anything else, playing other games.
Well, please don't do drugs. But yeah, you just told people to go out and do ecstasy.
Sorry.
Either way. It is a game to play while you're doing anything at all.
Although I probably wouldn't recommend having sex while playing the game because your SO might not like that. Unless your SO wants to play too. Oh, there you go. You could arena battle your SO while you're having sex.
I'm not gonna lie and say that I haven't checked my. I finished the quest. It was when I was dating my ex. And I stopped mid coitus and I was just like, hang on for a second. Let me just.
You did not.
I swear on it. I swear on my life.
Learn from RJ.
Don't make the mistakes that I've made. Clearly, I've made some bad decisions in my life.
You didn't have a candy bar again for breakfast this week,
No, I did not.
All right, good.
I had a bunch of food from Hardee's.
That's okay, though. Hardee's is damn good food.
I wanted to get my carbs in early.
I hate fast food, but I love Hardee's.
I love Hardee's.
What'd you have? Tell me. I have to live vicariously through your Hardee's
fine.
eating.
It was a sausage biscuit. Not sausage and egg. I don't do the egg because I know how those are made. I love sausage and egg. I like sausage and real egg. I worked at Hardee's. I know where that stuff. It comes out of a jug. It is a jug of egg goop, and it's gross.
Which is weird because they scratch make biscuits there.
I know,
and now they scratch make their burger buns there.
I don't really like those that much.
I haven't had it. Well, I don't eat the buns because I can't eat bread anymore.
Exactly.
But I'm thinking. My point is they scratch make all this stuff, but the
they
eggs
don't scratch. Yeah,
exactly. The eggs come out of a caulking gun.
It's just cheaper that way. So I got a sausage biscuit, threw some grape jelly on there.
Frisco, love the Frisco breakfast.
Got the large thing of hash browns because I don't care what morning place you go to.
Hash browns are
the hash browns at Hardee's are the best.
The best.
They have just enough salt on them. They're super crunchy.
Yeah, the only hash type product that I like better than Hardee's isn't fast food.
Okay. Is it home cook or?
No, I meant from a place where you buy.
Okay.
At least is IHOPs. I love IHOPs. I like IHOP. I know it's weird. A lot of people don't like them.
My preferred.
I drown them in ketchup.
My preferred hash browns in that sense.
Waffle
is
House.
Waffle House.
Yeah.
All
well,
day
I don't
long.
consider those hash because by the time I get done with them, it's like this much hash brown and this much everything else. Because I get them smothered, covered, smashed.
Do you get them all the way?
slashed.
You do get them all the way.
Yeah.
I don't go that crazy with it, but I also
I do it because I like to hear them screaming that across the room at 4:30 in the morning.
I had to get my breakfast dessert on.
Oh,
so
they got the cinnamon.
Got the cinnamon.
Yes, yes,
I did.
Yeah,
I'm not, and you know what? I had a Diet Coke too. No, I'm just kidding. I had an orange juice. I don't.
Oh, I could go for some orange juice.
I'm telling you,
I love orange juice.
That's the one. And we're not going to get into how bad orange juice is for you and how gross it is when they make it, but it tastes so good. Even though that's not what real orange juice tastes like at all.
I've had fresh squeezed.
Yeah.
I know. But I still like that orange juice.
I do too. I'm not going to lie to you. But that's what I had for breakfast this morning. So you can live vicariously through my fat kid self.
Well, I kind of have to. I mean, I can't eat that stuff anymore.
I know.
So.
Like, I felt so bad when you went to Makina's with us that one day. Because we were sitting there, and I just looking at you while I'm just stuffing food in my face. And the worst part is I just come off the sickness, so I was just like, I need to. And I'm looking at him, he's just looking at me, and it's just like one fucking tear. Just fucking,
yeah, I know. It was still good food. I just and the only reason I didn't go for the food, I went because it was
it's company.
Yeah, it's company. It was a good group. It was a good group of people. So because it was $13 for me to eat like 4 pieces of sushi essentially. I mean,
maybe we'll get start doing foodie reviews or something on the show soon.
We could do a foodie show.
I love to eat.
Yeah, and I love to cook. I actually like to cook. So. This went off on a really weird tangent, but I'll go ahead and say this now anyway. So I started a Facebook group. Yeah, for our local Knoxville friends. So we're doing. Maybe we'll film some of that at some point.
I think we should do that. A little introductory course on how to make some food.
Let us know what you think about that, guys.
Awesome. Holler at us. With show at thatstupidpodcast.com, Rev at thatstupidpodcast.com, Red Jeans at thatstupidpodcast.com, or call our number 480-STUPID9.
So it is that time of the show for another segment that we've actually gotten a little bit of regularity with, and this is Tech Bytes.
Yes.
News that's happened this week in tech. It's a short one. I only have 2 stories that I want to talk about, but they're good.
Not much really happened this week.
It was not a huge week in tech, but the biggest story this week is out of China. And for those of you that maybe you didn't even know this, Lenovo is not an American company.
It's not. A lot of people assume that it is.
Right. So Chinese tech giant Lenovo just this week announced that for $2.91 billion, and this coming after only a week after they bought all of IBM's server market,
which we talked about.
We talked about last week. They just bought Motorola from Google.
Yeah, they did. But it's only in the Chinese market right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it's not going to last longer.
I don't think it will either.
They're buying the whole thing.
I think they'll buy the whole thing, and they'll push it to the American market.
So Google bought, when Google bought Motorola, 4 years ago?
It would have been 4 or 5, yeah.
Right, because I don't remember. 2008, so it would have been 9.
No, that's a long.
Yeah.
It was 2008. Wasn't
it? So. Old. Anyway, when Google bought Motorola, of course, the immediate reaction was very similar to the reaction when Microsoft bought the handset division of Nokia recently.
Google phone.
Well, not that. It's, hey, you're competing against all of your vendors. So people got pissed. I mean, of course,
we're pretty upset about it.
The Google Nexus has always been a thing, but Google didn't really build the Nexus. Nope. What Google would do is they would find a phone that they really liked, usually an LG almost every time, but not always. And they go, that's what we're going to do to the Nexus platform. They would sell it, but the Nexus 4 was actually a Samsung Galaxy S4, wasn't it?
It was, that's correct.
Yeah, so that's why I said it's not always LG.
They just pick one that they really like. They think they can program for perfectly, and then they do it.
All right, and the idea is you get a flat Android experience, which, especially from something like Samsung, I have a Galaxy S3. I hate all the Samsung crapware on it, so I really like the Nexus platform.
Because it pulls all that junk off.
It pulls all that junk out. So when they bought Motorola, there was this big concern that, you're going to compete against yourselves, you're going to piss off the other hardware vendors, and I think they did a little bit piss off some of the hardware vendors.
I think they pissed a lot of hardware vendors off to the point where they were contemplating not carrying Android phones, and then they realized that they loved money, so it didn't matter.
Right, exactly. I mean, and this is what makes it interesting for Lenovo. So there's another company that a lot of you may not know about. It's called Huawei. Huawei is the largest Android manufacturer on the planet,
It's
believe it
kind
or
of a
not.
big deal.
They're huge. The reason that you don't know anything about them is because, unlike Motorola, Huawei doesn't distribute anything in the United States. They don't want anything to do with our market.
No, they say, look, we're just going to be over here.
Making all the monies.
Yeah, and screw America.
Yeah. And it's not that they don't like America. They just don't want to deal with American markets. And
American market, the import stuff,
Right.
all the red tape that comes
all the
along
red
with
tape,
it.
right. And they're happy with where they're at. And they make some, I'll be honest with you,
They make a
some
lot
pretty
of money
astounding
and
phones.
really good phones,
They're
yeah.
very nice phones. So this is the first real competitor to Huawei, I think, coming out of China now, is with Lenovo buying this acquisition. There are other Chinese manufacturers, Korean manufacturers, Japanese manufacturers.
But they're not on this level.
Right. No. God, no. So with Lenovo doing that, and they are going to be competing in the American market at some point against Apple and the other Android markets. So I just want to know where the hell Lenovo is getting all this money.
That's kind of what I was wondering. When you told me about the story, you said, yeah, they spent this much money. And I was like, where did Lenovo, of all companies, who started making basement PCs
Right.
for budgets,
Right.
get...
I don't know.
And they literally, in the last few weeks... How much did they spend? It was 20-something? Or no, it wasn't. It was... How much was it?
I have to look it back up. It was...
Well, they've spent almost $10 billion, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
In the last, 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous.
That's not money that you just throw around.
No,
and
that's
really,
Nintendo money.
That is Nintendo money. And it makes me wonder if perhaps they're going to try and do... Because cloud innovations are coming.
Sure. Right.
And they bought all the IBM server stuff. The IBM server stuff's not bad.
No,
but if they have it, the framework there to build on top of it, and as crazy as it sounds, I think they might do cloud phones. Imagine phones that did not really require storage.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I could... Well, and technically, we're kind of heading that way a little bit.
If you look, the Google tablets or whatever they're out, right? Or the Google laptops?
The Chromebooks.
The Chromebooks.
Yeah,
Imagine
it's a cloud
that
PC
as a phone.
Yeah, all right.
I'm telling you, I think that's where it's going.
So you heard a prediction here first. If it happens, then you can all say, look, RJ freaking called it.
Rostradamus over here.
Rostradamus.
That's
Rostradamus.
Yeah, I like that.
Rostradamus.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, but seriously, I think that's where it's going to go.
I actually like that
because you could pump out phones for so cheap,
right,
and sell them. And as long as you have a connected cell network, especially over there,
right. And with LTE, and so, let's talk about speed for a minute. So I did recently, and I posted them on my Instagram. I don't know if you saw. I did some speed tests on both I have an iPhone 5S and an iPad Mini with Retina. Mm-hmm. Basically, those are the same device as far as hardware is concerned.
Essentially, yes.
What was interesting is when I did the Wi-Fi test, I was really alarmed at how poorly the iPhone 5S did.
It does really bad. You're lucky to get over 10.
Yeah, and I did a little better than that. I think I got 20 meg down, and I think it was 9 meg up.
It's all weird based on router and how close you are in proximity.
But from the same position, this was on my comfy couch sitting in my Snuggie in my living room. I grabbed the iPad, I did the Wi-Fi test, and I got the full speed of my internet. 108 meg down, 22 meg up is what I got on the iPad.
My assumption is that because there's a size difference, the Wi-Fi responded.
Better antennas, I would assume.
That's what I'm assuming, yeah.
And I thought that too until I did the LTE test, because now my iPad is also an LTE device.
It is.
The results are backwards.
And here's
the iPhone 5 was 28 meg down, and I think the iPad was 13 or 14.
And I think I have a reason for that.
Okay.
Because in the cellular phone, in the iPhone 5S, I believe that the cellular antenna is bigger and badder.
But why wouldn't they make the iPad antenna bigger?
Because it's not the main use. You would mainly use it
I use it as a GPS in my car, which means I'm using the LTE then.
But if you're getting anything over 10 megs on it, period, I mean,
I know, but I want the full...
I know you do, and you want it on both devices, but you can't have it. You can't have both with the size... With everything you have to cram in there.
Fix that, Apple.
Come on, do something with that. That's going to be the 6. The 6 is going to actually have antennas sticking out of it. It looks like
what I'm more interested in than the iPhone 6, and I'm going to buy an iPhone 6. By the way, I'm a middle... now I am going to do what you did. I will not buy the 6. I am actually going to buy the 6S. So I will say it that way. I'm a
mid-cycle person.
I've now kind of made the leap to buying the 5 and then the 5S.
Because it survives 2 generations instead of just one.
But what I'm looking forward to more than the iPhone 6, I'm actually iOS 8.
Yeah,
The stuff I keep reading about iOS 8.
I'm trying to avoid all news on it, and the reason that I'm trying to avoid it is because I don't want to get excited. Because I'm
already excited.
I read everything about 7, and I was like, I hate this.
I know.
I'm gonna hate it. It's gonna be terrible.
It's awesome,
and I love it.
Yeah. So
I'm worried that I'll have the reverse effect.
Yeah, I don't think so. So we'll be definitely covering that when when
that goes down,
when that comes out.
We'll definitely talk to you guys about that.
And we'll be covering, believe it or not, I am going to cover during Microsoft Build, I'm going to cover the updates to Windows Phone Blue for Windows Phone 8. For the 9 of you out there that use that, we will actually cover that a little bit. So
do you want to talk about the Twitter scandal?
Yeah. So my other tech story is
this was everywhere this week. If you did not see it, then I don't know.
Now, a couple of years ago, almost now, there was a guy who got his Twitter account hacked and his Apple account hacked. They deleted his freaking laptop over the internet.
Yeah.
I felt he was a reporter for Ars Technica. I felt really bad for this guy, Mike something.
He pissed off the wrong person when I think he wrote an article about security.
Yeah, and pissed somebody off.
And he was talking about security being stronger than it actually is. Yeah. And he pissed the wrong person off.
So there's a guy, and I'm probably going to screw his name up, but it's Naoki or Naoki.
I think it's Naoki. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, so this particular guy, he was Twitter at N.
Yeah, because
he had a one-letter Twitter account.
Back when Twitter started.
Yeah, and this pisses me off. Had I thought about it, I got on Twitter when it started.
I did too.
And had I thought about it, I would have gotten that. I would have gotten something smaller.
I would. Yeah. Dick jokes. There's a reason he's
Smiling Bob.
But yeah, when Twitter started, there was no minimum.
There was no minimum, and there was only a few hundred people on it, and we were all freaking nerds anyway. So he got at N being the first letter of his first name. Great name.
Absolutely.
Well, and he's also that on Instagram, I think, as well. Now, the thing is, when you have certain names, and I don't have this too much because fortunately for me, there is an actor with my exact name, Stephen Ray. He has my domain name, so I couldn't buy that. But I have his Twitter, and I do get approached occasionally to buy my Twitter account because at Stephen Ray spelled,
Yeah.
But not for the money that this guy was offered. And I'm not going to sell my Twitter handle anyway. But
I will more than happily sell my Twitter handle for anything over $5,000.
Okay, well there you go. You want to buy at RedJeans542?
Maybe $50. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
And a handy.
That's right. And a good old fashioned HJ.
Yeah. So in this case, these are and for those of you who don't remember, I'm going to talk about ICQ for a minute. So I have an old 6-digit ICQ. It's still not been hacked. I don't use it anymore, but luckily.
I was going to say I haven't touched my ICQ in years.
Our friend Beth, she had a lower number than I did even. It was also a 6-digit because that's as small as they went. But mine was in like the 400,000 range. Hers was in the 110,000 range.
That's impressive.
She was one of the first 10,000 people on
got dropped,
ICQ. It got hacked.
Yep.
Her account got hacked. Because people like to hack these either low number accounts on things like ICQ, which I can't believe people even still use anymore, but things like Twitter.
It's bragging rights, essentially.
I guess. And then Twitter, at N, at A, at all these simple letter.
Yeah.
They're getting their targets.
I would have just set up rando email addresses and registered all of these.
I totally would have. Yeah.
And I would have made $1 million.
Easily. So, I would have gotten that R, actually.
So what happened to this guy?
He got hacked.
But how it's the
way he got hacked.
Creativity of how he got hacked.
His Twitter account actually didn't immediately get hacked.
In fact, his Twitter account didn't actually get hacked.
No,
period.
He had to hand it over because of blackmail.
He got blackmailed.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. What actually got attacked was his GoDaddy account.
And they got it through his PayPal account.
Yeah.
Now here's what he did. He used a process which is called social engineering.
Right.
Where I call up to, say, any customer service place.
You pretend to be someone you're not.
I pretend to be an employee or the person or...
Right. And at GoDaddy, which is actually kind of where it started a little bit, and then it went through PayPal, but basically, over the phone, they gave him the last 4 digits of the credit card number.
Just gave it to him. Without any other verification.
So I'm thinking to myself, really? Because I use GoDaddy, and this terrifies me.
I was going to say, I also use I own like 3 domains that I don't touch anymore, but they're owned through GoDaddy.
I have like a dozen domains that are hosted through GoDaddy, and it's a little bit worrisome to
terrifying,
me.
in my opinion.
So now I have multi-factor authentication on my GoDaddy account. I get a text message if you try to log in with a secure code
And
that
I
only
suggest
works
that
for 90
everyone
seconds.
do that.
You can do that. You go to your GoDaddy account and you can turn on this second factor authentication. Every time you log in, you get a text message with a 6 or 8 digit code. I don't remember which. You have to put in the.
I do this for
device.
absolutely all the MMOs I play. That
Oh,
will
I
let
do
me
it for everything
as well.
Yeah, like World of Warcraft, I have the Authenticator
So
app
do
for
I.
that. I also download the Google Authenticator. So for WordPress that I use to back in a lot of my blogs, you can actually tie that in.
I fully suggest
my
having-
Windows Live ID. I use the Google Authenticator for that. Facebook, I use
You've
the
got a
Authenticator for
smartphone,
that. Yeah,
you can get an authenticator for whatever program. It's basically a key fob. So do
yeah.
it.
So or any whatever their form of multi-factor auth. And also for GoDaddy, I have a call-in pin. So you can't talk to their rep
Yeah,
without my
without the
call-in
password,
pin.
yeah.
And anyone that offers a call-in pin, you need to go ahead and set that up.
Well, actually, you can set it. I
do it
don't-
online.
I've worked at too many call centers.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a call-in pin. You call whoever it is. Tell them that you want to put a password on your account.
Right.
What they will do is they will make a note that pops up.
Yeah.
Before anybody, it can be a word, it can be numbers, it can be
anything you want it to be.
Set it.
Right.
Because
and the idea is
this
that
is
you
just
have
dirty
to
what
you
happened.
have to say that passcode or they won't let you on. I think you have Verizon, right?
I do.
So I have AT&T for my cell phone. That's our we'll have that argument someday.
Absolutely.
And in my case, same thing. I have a passcode. You can't even log into my AT&T app on my phone without my passcode because it
Again,
pops up.
You can't do jack on any of my accounts if you don't know said password, and they're all different. So that's very
So he had the reason he gave willingly his @n account was because the guy changed all of his domain registering information. He called GoDaddy, opened a support case. The reply back from GoDaddy was, "Well, since you're not the current registrant for the domain, we can't help you."
tough shit. Which is crazy because if they'd have looked back at the change of information, he was there before it.
So they basically seized his PayPal, they seized his GoDaddy,
The anonymous
and
user
they
basically threatened.
they gave it back to him.
Yeah. And
that
they
was
helped-
the blackmail.
they
And then
helped
they
him.
told him
They told him all the security loopholes they went through.
everything they did. They're like, this is how we did this.
But the thing is they said, look, either you go change your Twitter handle now,
Right.
or I'm going to delete everything that's here.
Yeah.
And that's ultimate blackmail because he was running legitimate website businesses.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you lose that, nobody backs that up.
Yeah, the
on
guy had a
site.
startup essentially.
Yeah,
that he
there's
was
no
running out of.
on-site backup for that.
Yeah. So, wow. Like seriously.
That was painful.
Yeah,
and
so
the
that-
guy had to turn it over. Yeah. So and he wrote
And this
his
was an
story.
account, by the way, that he'd been offered previously $50,000 to buy.
50 grand.
And he turned
could
it
have
down.
had 50 grand, turned it down, and then
And
he
got
got
blackmailed out of it.
absolutely
So-
no money for him.
Not a whole lot of stories in the news this week, but that one definitely
That's
something
a huge one
that you
because
yeah.
people have said that social engineering has been impossible since the 70s or 80s. It's always going to be possible.
Right. So, and I'm not going to get into it now because I don't want to run off on a tangent again this week. But I am going to do a social engineering podcast at some point. One of my kind of all-time social engineering heroes, if you will, is Kevin Mitnick.
We discussed this off the air. We talked about Kevin.
So
He's a genius.
Yeah, I actually met Kevin once. And back in the day, I worked a job where his now wife. I actually worked a job with his now wife.
Crazy.
So we're going to do social engineering, and if you ever want to read, this isn't our book podcast, but he has a book called The Art of Illusion,
And it's great.
It's very good. You should check that out.
Make sure to read his autobiography if you don't know who Kevin
that
Mitnick
too.
is.
Yeah.
Or just look him up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's insane the run from everything that he was able to manage for so long.
So protect yourselves. Put a condom on your modem.
Yeah, seriously. If
Whatever
there's
you
any
gotta do.
passcode authentication, anything for accounts that you care about, turn it on.
So-
I know it may seem like a hassle,
Yeah.
but
We're
going
gonna
to
do
have that happen?
We're going to do that. I'm going to set up some dummy accounts for things so I can actually show you the process. So I'll set up a WordPress account somewhere, and I'll do the
we'll help you guys
multi-factor
out.
auth.
Yeah, we'll do a little tutorial video.
We'll do a little tutorial podcast as part of our. We'll do like an entire social engineering podcast. I think at some
So
point.
there it is. Boom. Tech
for
Bytes
that.
for this week. Check that stuff out when it pops. We'll see you on the flip. Welcome back, guys. That Stupid Podcast and our new segment that is my segment, Game Changer. We discussed video games. We
did our first one last week.
It was great.
It was a
Went
very
over
good
well.
segment. I thought so too.
Now, the thing is, and I don't want to get repetitive here, but we're also going to talk about Nintendo again this week. The reason is because that's all any video game blog, anybody.
You mean like how they're about to be, how they're all ready to be merging with another company?
Now, it's not that they're ready to be merging with another company, because I did not know this when I saw it on your show notes.
Yeah.
So I looked into it today.
Yeah.
It said that they are not against the idea of it.
Yeah.
A
To
merger
me,
or an
that
acquisition.
sounds like they're ready.
But
you go first.
Nintendo money. And he stated when he said that,
He did say that.
we've got plenty of money because they're Nintendo.
Right.
And they could literally just sit around for a long time.
Right.
I would probably say that it would probably take 5 years before they would actually consider a full-on.
You think so?
And here's why.
All right. Lay it
They
on me.
admitted this week, that they're going to do apps and possibly games, first-party games,
Right.
including the entire cast of every game you've ever loved from Nintendo, for smartphones.
Which is funny because just last week they said no way in hell.
Well, it's not that they just said no way.
Oh, yeah. They were like, no, we are not working on that.
But
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
that's right. Yeah, they kind of denied it, but I think it's a good thing. Here's the thing, though.
No, I think it's great because I would love to play Sonic on my, I like to play Sonic on my smartphone. I'd love to play Mario on my smartphone.
And if it's Nintendo, what platform do you think they're going to make it for?
The iPhone,
You're
bitches.
only going to see it on Apple. I guarantee you that Nintendo will set up
Yeah.
a straight partner with Apple.
Yeah.
Because
I hope so.
if they put them on Androids, nobody will buy them. Sorry, Android guys.
Android
you're
people,
all cheap people, and you get stuff for free.
And
and you steal.
statistics are behind that. I mean, if you look at the fact that people are like, well, Android has bigger market share than Apple, and that is true. They have
'cause people are
much
cheap.
bigger market share than Apple. There's more app money made in the Apple App Store than
Probably
in
like
the
a
Android
day
App
than
Store.
there is in the Android for a month.
Yeah. So
Now, another thing with Nintendo, they have also admitted that they're going to launch a new console next year. But this isn't the kind of console you're probably expecting.
yeah,
Between the year of 2015...
because they also admitted the Wii U is a failure.
No, they didn't exactly. They said it wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
The console that they're going to be released will be between Q1 of 2015 and Q1 of 2016.
Which means it's in production now in some laboratory getting
But
played
it's a
with.
fitness console.
Right.
It is a console for
Which
fitness.
I'm
and
actually kind of. I think this is a great idea for Nintendo too.
I think it is.
I think it's
because
great.
I think it'll be a tie-in to both the DS and the Wii U. To be
think so.
honest with you, but it's for if you guys followed, and I don't know if you ever saw this or not. They had the vitality sensor. It was a
I don't remember that.
hookup for your finger. It's a heart monitor.
Oh, pulse ox and heart monitor and stuff.
Yeah, and went into the controller, and it could change the way the game played, determining on how you felt.
Aw.
They could adjust the levels.
So if you
it
had
could
a
adjust
fad, it would.
It could adjust a lot of things. It would
Wow.
make suggestions to you.
Interesting.
But the thing about the vitality sensor is they built it up, and then they were like, crap. It's just crap. It's all garbage. But the thing is, if they
Nice.
want to
Yeah.
take back that Chinese and Japanese market, you make a health console.
That's true. That's a great idea.
Actually, even in America now, you say, yeah, your kids can play this video game console, and it's healthy for them.
Yeah.
It's
And
kid tested,
hopeful.
mother approved.
Yeah, there you go.
People will fucking buy that.
That's true. Well, I do think it's a great idea. I think where their market should be though are gyms.
I mean,
Do a commercial grade version of that.
When
Like
the Wii was out, a huge market was in rehabilitation.
right.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Like, people thought that Nintendo was crazy when they started shelling it to hospitals.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It worked for physical
Well, because they have the Wii
rehabilitation.
Fit, so they do the yoga and all that stuff, and
balance board
I'm
and the
actually going to
bike
buy
and-
the yoga one. I have
actually
I have
really
a
good.
Wii, and I've been doing yoga recently, so I'm actually going to buy the Nintendo Yoga. Give me a reason to wipe
Fire
the
the
dust
Wii up,
off my
I know.
Wii. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing with the Wii U. You talked about its performance not being so great.
Right.
They're coming out with a patch. We have no guarantee of when it's going to be.
Right.
It does take almost 60 seconds for you to get into a game. Now, that doesn't seem like a long time.
That's an eternity.
That feels, it's
It's an
forever.
eternity.
They're talking about getting it into a game in less than 20 seconds.
That's good. That's where it should be. That's where it should be.
On par
That's with Xbox and PlayStation.
and Xbox, yeah.
And actually, they better watch it because some of these newer games for the Xbox are
Taking forever.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh. And then when it finally does load, they have their damn freaking ad screens,
Yep.
and it's like another minute. I'm like, oh.
Now, I love to just watch the ad screens the very first time I log in, but
Once.
I want
Give me
to
the damn
disable-
cancel
I want
button.
to disable.
Yeah. Give me the cancel button, you bastards.
The biggest thing that I think will actually sell a lot of Wii U's, though, they're moving the DS games, a lot of the library, to the Wii U. This is a huge
Yeah, I
market.
didn't know that. Okay.
They're
That's
going to take
interesting.
the DS games And your DS will essentially be your screen, your monitor, your television.
Right.
So in my that's 61 inches.
Yeah.
And your touchscreen, which, in case you've never held the Wii U controller,
Right.
is one more comfortable than the DS. It is touchscreen. It is a double screen, and it's perfect for that. It is amazing, and that would be a complete game changer. Because then you have the Wii U. You've got the huge back library of all the Virtual Console games, which are Super Nintendo, Nintendo.
No, I love
Nintendo.
those. That's the reason I originally bought the Wii.
And then you add DS. Oh, so I already bought a Wii U? I don't have to go out and buy a DS? I love these games. Oh, I love this game so much, I want to play it on the go. I guess I'll go buy a 3DS.
Right.
Archaic technology does work and does sell, but you got to market it right.
That's true.
You got to know your audience. And if I could get it so that game save could transfer between my Wii U
and
my
action?
DS.
Well, they should be able to
Which
do
is
that.
possible,
Nintendo
they
does
both
cloud
accept-
save. And
they both
Nintendo
accept
does
SD cards.
Well, doesn't Nintendo do cloud save? I mean,
I don't believe they
don't
do.
Well, so step up Nintendo, because that's what I love about the new Xbox updates.
The old, I mean, yeah, the old.
Well, I'm
Xbox,
talking about the 360, but in the last set of updates from was it October? They started really pushing cloud save hard, right?
They pushed it, yeah, because
it's been around for a while.
It's been around for about a year,
but now,
or more
even
now.
more games that wouldn't have supported it before.
Everything supports it now
because they don't have to make the game support it. That was the big jump.
Now it's just built into the OS.
Right. That was the big jump in. I want to say it was October. Whatever the fall.
It would have been
2013.
November.
Okay, November.
Somewhere between October and November. It's usually November was where they released the fall update. But it was two big updates a year.
Awesome.
Spring and fall.
It was awesome.
So
I'm so happy about that.
But I think that if Nintendo goes that route,
yeah,
and then really if you really wanted to tie it in, you got a third screen. If they can make the smartphones Bluetooth connect, I can have a map over here that I can do little drawings and stuff on. I've got my DS game going in there, my Wii U game going there. I think it's awesome.
And companies just started doing that. So I bought Need for Speed
tablet built-in.
I bought Need for Speed Rivals because I'm a big Need for Speed fan, and I don't know why I keep buying these games because they've not been good the last few years, but I keep buying them. I mean, Hot Pursuit was the last really good Need for Speed game.
Yeah.
And then the run was just, oh god!
I think that every one of the Need for Speed
run
games,
was horrible.
I think the worst part about Need for Speed is they make them open world, and that makes
I
me
don't
want to
mind
avoid them.
open world. It's the controls. It's the you touch the thing and it drifts perfectly. I don't want the car to drift perfectly. I want to figure out how to do that my damn self. Rivals got better. They did a lot better with Rivals, and actually some later patches to the. And I forget the name of it now because I still have it too and still play it occasionally, but was a little bit better. But with Rivals, they've added a companion. They had a companion app before, but they've added a companion app that has a map on it.
Is it the actual app or is it with Smart Glass?
No. It's an actual app. It works on the PC. They have a website you can go to, so if you're at a PC, you can do it. But you also have the tablet or smartphone you can do it on. You can do like gas refills with it. You can challenge people. You can put, if you're playing in the open world with other people, you can put roadblocks up with your smartphone.
Oh, that's awesome.
So like, when you're gaming, if you're playing a cop, you can call a roadblock with the controller.
Yeah.
You can also do it with the app.
Well, that's kind of neat. So
and
you can have somebody sit there
pinpoint
next
where
to
you want. Yeah,
and be like, hey, throw a roadblock up here, and then that person can. And that's another way to get multiple people into your game without actually having to play.
So that's the first time I've really seen that work. I thought fairly well. But with the Nintendo, I could definitely. There are a few games I could totally see a second screen.
Well, we'll
like a
actually
smartphone.
probably
Be really
talk
good.
about the tablet implementation in the next gen consoles.
Yeah.
How that's
absolutely.
working. How Smart Glass works already. With
Xbox did Smart Glass, and it's just not really taken off because
I love it.
I like it too, but there aren't a lot of console games that really use it.
Do you know what I 90% of the time I use Smart Glass for?
What's that? Netflix. Next episode.
And
Netflix.
No. It's even worse than that.
Yeah.
It's the fact that that's what I use my Kinect for.
Yeah.
But if I'm so lazy and if I know the
Netflix.
Kinect's unplugged or not on or something, or just being dumb, because
Fire the
sometimes
Smart Glass. It's a good remote. It's a great remote.
And I'll use it because sometimes I'm just like, where's my controller? Ugh, I don't have time for this Smart Glass.
Right. Yeah. Now, in my case, I don't do that as much anymore because I have a Harmony remote that it's just, I mean, I should probably do a review for that sometime because those are just
There's a reason it's called the Harmony.
It brings harmony to my living room.
Very zen.
Unlike the Onkyo receiver that died on me this week.
Ooh, that's going to be expensive. But I guess we could always talk about that in the next Technology Bites.
Maybe so.
Anyways, that's Game Changer for this week.
Look
Hopefully
we'll
see some more improvement from Nintendo. We'll have more stuff to talk to you about next week that's not Nintendo related.
God, I hope.
And we'll keep you up to date on what's going on in gaming news.
Peace out. So the last thing I want to talk about, we didn't do this segment last week.
Well, it's not every week we get pissed off.
Not every week you get, well, it is every week we get pissed off,
yeah.
but not enough to always talk about it. So we're going to bring back fuck a bunch of this.
Fuck a bunch of this.
And I want to talk about fucking a bunch of quizzes for just a minute.
Because it's all over Facebook right now. They're coming back LiveJournal, MySpace style, and I don't know who started this. Like,
hardcore.
Really, it's all over the place.
I blame Buzzworthy personally, but or BuzzFeed rather.
Well, no, but most of these quizzes aren't coming from BuzzFeed. Now, the few I've taken have, but the ones that are like, what character are you? What Game of Thrones? Those are all. It is a website.
Yeah.
It has a whole section
Nothing but quizzes
dedicated to these things.
Stop it.
Because that's been super popular.
So here's the thing. I like a good quiz occasionally.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to say fuck every quiz for the end of time.
No.
In fact, I did one today just for the hell of it because partly I was pissed off at quizzes and it was like my stand against quizzes and I got CEO as my dream job.
Yeah. I'm glad you got happy on that one because we won't talk about the how big is your dick quiz.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got the strap.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
If you don't know what he's talking about, it wasn't a real quiz. I do a joke every day. And so far, it's 2.5 years running, every single day, a unique joke.
Yep.
Now, in some cases, my jokes are derivative of something else because it's hard to do a real joke every day.
It's hard to do original comedy, period.
Well, it is hard to do original comedy, period. Although in my case, and we will talk about this at some point, I got accused of ripping memes off word for word, which I don't do, by the way. But I do use certain derivative comments or add to or something like that. And there had been a joke I was working on for a long time, and I was trying to come up with it. I did one today that kind of came off the top of my head. It was, well, you know, because China is New Year's, the year of the horse.
Yeah.
I thought, well, if China's on the other side of the planet, does that make it the year of the horse's ass for America? So, but the joke was, the one I came up with, I couldn't figure out how to get a punchline that made sense in text, so I had to create a meme. I didn't have a choice. It just didn't work in any other sense as a meme. So it was, I just took the how big is your dick quiz, and I got the strap. And if you don't know what the strap is, go look the strap up on the internet. It's a phone. It's about this big.
It's tiny.
It's the world's smallest smartphone. It's made out of Japan. I don't remember the company name.
When I like to describe it to people, I go, have you ever seen that skit with SNL where Will Ferrell comes in and he's writing?
It's basically that phone. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah. It's pretty much that. So, and it worked as a meme. It was pretty funny, but not to get too far off tangent, but quizzes piss me off. And not that they piss me off every day, because some of them are cute. And if you're a Game of Thrones fan and you want to take a Game of Thrones quiz, take the Game of Thrones quiz. I'm a Doctor.
But
I'm
then
a Doctor
don't
Who
take
fan.
the other 50 quizzes it offers you after it.
Don't take the what Disney character quiz are you, and the what Barbie are you,
I'm
the
cool.
what whatever are you,
I'm cool
and the what
with
whatever
them.
are you.
I'm cool with them taking all these quizzes. One a day.
Right.
You
One a
limit it
day.
to one a day.
Right. If I can only do one goddamn bit strip a day, you can only do one motherfucking quiz.
Yeah, and see, I mean, I took a quiz. It was probably yesterday. No, it was probably a couple days ago. It was the What Sandwich Are You on BuzzFeed.
I saw that one. It was cute. It
And
was
believe
cute.
it or not,
I didn't take it, but it was
nailed
cute.
it.
Yeah.
Because it said I was a hamburger with no bun, just wrapped in lettuce.
yeah,
and I was just like, I eat those all the time.
Hardee's.
I love it. I know.
Hardee's burgers. Oh Jesus!
$6 burgers with a little lettuce wrap, a little.
When I did the Atkins diet years back, I loved the Hardee's burgers.
Yeah,
that's also
they were
when
perfect.
And that's also when I found out just how bad Burger King burgers actually are. Because
Horrible.
when you take the bun off a Burger King burger,
Yeah, it's really disgusting.
it's bad. So but fuck a bunch of quizzes. One a day. I like that. One a day, people.
Because when I have to go through my feed and I just see
Quiz.
I'm gonna get pissed, and I'm probably gonna hide your post.
And what's really bad is, so you and I don't know how many friends you have. I've got like about 450 or 500 friends, something like
I
that.
think that's probably. I've done some house cleaning, and some people have gotten mad at me about that. And I promise I didn't delete anybody on purpose.
I have 456 friends. Now, in my case, I've met all of my friends. I don't have 413. So I knew we were pretty close. The point is, we have a lot of friends.
Absolutely.
Now, not as a lot as some people.
Yeah.
Because I only have people I know or have met personally as friends.
I only have probably about 50. No, it'd be less than that. Probably like less than 30 people on here
that
I've never met. I know them because I've spent considerable amount of time online with these people.
Sure. I can appreciate that.
So, I mean, that's why we're friends.
And I know a lot of people out there going, there's no way you know 456 people.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, there totally
I'm the
is.
Kevin Bacon of Knoxville, and he traveled.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and a good portion of my friends are people I've met on the road, either other trainers or other IT people, recruiters. I mean, all kinds of
everybody.
Yeah. So you should see my LinkedIn, which I don't limit to people I don't know.
And that's, by the way, I figured out that's why your cloud score is higher than mine.
It's only 2 points because you were 62 or 63,
I'm 63 right now.
Yeah.
So I'm edging up.
Well, I went blowing by you though, because I fixed the Facebook thing.
That's not fair. Did you link the Facebook page to
my Facebook, my personal Facebook? It didn't used to be linked to my personal Facebook. I had it linked.
What's your cloud score at right now?
65.
See, you still got me by 2 points.
It was 50, is what I'm saying, because it used to be linked to one of my. I don't remember which one. I have a couple Facebook pages that I manage, and I didn't realize it was linked to one of those.
My Facebook alone by itself is probably 62 points. I got 1 point for Twitter and 1 point for Instagram.
I don't know what. I never looked at the breakdown.
I did. I looked.
I should look at mine.
But I mean, either way,
Cloud's still stupid.
Yeah. Quizzes, don't do them.
Stop it. Wait, do them.
Yeah,
just don't do them all, and don't do more than one a day.
Yeah.
One a damn day.
And don't pay attention to what Cloud says, because I'm cooler than he is, anyways. But we do have one more thing that I want to talk about this week.
Now, this isn't an internet techie thing like quizzes, but I shared this story earlier this week. You shared this story earlier this week.
Everybody and their mother shared it.
Everybody and their mother has shared this story this week.
I watched it blow up on Facebook.
This is a blow up story because of what it is. Now, I don't have kids. You don't have kids.
And no offense to people with kids out there, or even kids out there. I don't like kids. Yeah. I'm not a kid person. I don't do.
I am a kid person. But even if you're not a kid person,
it's not all kids. It's like if I can talk to them about the newest episode of Adventure Time, chances are we're gonna get along real well.
I love that show.
So, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this right. It looks like Uinta Elementary School in Salt Lake City, Utah. So, America.
Unida.
Is it? No.
I thought it was United.
UINTAH.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
So I don't understand how pronunciation works today.
Elementary school in Utah.
Elementary school in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
What they did was they had the kids forcibly watch while cafeteria workers took their lunches and threw them in the trash can.
Right. So
you know why?
Well, so here's the problem. Apparently, the kids' accounts didn't have either any or enough money to buy the lunch. And usually when that happens, by the way, because this happens all over the country,
they do an IOU and they send a bill home.
They'll often do an IOU, or if they are going to stop the kid from getting that lunch and give them something else, they'll do it beforehand. And that was what this school, by the way, that's what this school practices. They don't do IOUs. They won't give that kid that lunch, and they give them like a milk and a fruit or something.
That's what they did. They gave them an orange and a milk.
The problem is they had not done it before the kids had already gotten their lunch. And this is where my issue is.
This is psychological damaging statement.
First of all, don't make the kid pay for a parent's mistake. If the parent just forgot, because people forget sometimes.
That does happen, especially when you're busy. If you're a single parent or something like that,
especially if you're
sorry
single
that you're working 1,000 hours as it is just to make ends meet.
Right, and worse, if there is a financial struggle in the home.
Yeah, don't be the dick to make it worse and then take it out on the kids.
Right.
The kids don't need to know about that.
This is not the kid's fault.
No, at all.
And for 40 children,
they sat them there, forcibly taken the lunches,
took the trays,
and threw. Now, not only is that, it's a waste of damn food.
It's a waste of food. The food's already out there.
The food is already made.
So you can't take it back to the kitchen. Why would you take the food away from the child?
They were crying, and they said that even one of the lunch ladies was crying because she had to wash this.
Right.
Now, I don't know what it takes to become a lunch lady or anything like that, but I do know that the lunch ladies at my schools were always amazing people, and they were super nice.
They were always
and they
nice.
loved to feed kids.
I know.
They loved it.
That's what I remember that about school too.
Their heart, their job, what they
even in high school. And high school kids are dicks.
High school kids are super dicks,
and they were still really nice. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
So I actually played
a lunch lady in a skit in one time. You remember the Adam Sandler song "Lunch Lady Land"? My friend Leslie and I.
Slappy Joe.
So she approached me. And Leslie was kind of a tomboyish person in school, so she was going to do the Adam Sandler part. I did the Chris Farley part, and I had the balloons in the apron and everything else, and it was like Slappy Joe, come on. Oh, it was so fun.
I want to go to Lunch Lady Land, and I want a Sloppy Joe now.
I've got to get that on video.
But you know what I really want? I want these damn kids to be fed.
Yeah, and if you give them their food, and I get that your policy is to give them a fruit and a fucking milk.
Shitty policy.
But if you've already given them the food,
don't
rip it out of their hands.
And then make them watch you throw it away.
Right.
That is a traumatic event for
And
children.
the other kids in the class. It's not like they had to watch it.
Yeah.
The whole fucking class had to watch it.
That's embarrassing. Like, I don't think that people understand how big of a deal that is to kids, but that changes the entire social structure.
Anything you... Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Like, kids are all sociopaths. I'm sorry. They are learning how to be people.
Yeah.
They're all terrible little demons.
I mean, I remember growing up, it was bad.
I was one.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Poorish. I was so poor we couldn't afford the fucking OR. I was just po.
You're just
po as hell.
Po as hell. Kids are bad. So you gotta...
Just don't do this. Like, they're learning to be people. Don't give them negative examples. That's how you put serial killers out in the world.
Yeah.
So that's what's grinding my gears this week.
It ground mine a little bit, too.
Can we just together take both these subjects? We have the quizzes, we have the children's thing, and we're going to say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck a bunch of that.
I just made him do it. See, that's... But seriously, fuck that. Fuck a bunch of that. I guess that's the wrap for this show.
It was a good show. Another good show this week.
I enjoyed it. We did a bunch of good segments. What I'd really like is for the people at home to send us some emails.
See, you and I are in the same it's scary. I was literally about to say, I was going to solicit for stuff, but please, go right ahead.
I want you guys to send us emails. I want you to give us phone calls, leave us a voicemail. We won't necessarily play it on the show if you're not comfortable with that, but let us know what you think, what you want to hear about. Give us what you want us to bring to you each week, because it's important to us, because, I mean, we're sitting here just trying to kind of play it by ear and figure it out.
So I am going to tell you, along with what we're soliciting, and I was literally, I mean, it's scary. You scared the crap out of me, bro. So we definitely want you to call us 480-STUPID-9, but also I want to tell you a couple things that we are working on. We mentioned the science podcast. That is still coming. It's in the works. I mentioned the Barbie book recently.
Give me an update on that.
So it blew up on Twitter this week. And when I say it blew up on Twitter this week, I mean, boom. So I started a campaign to get people, and, well, mostly Random House, to pay the fuck attention to me.
Yeah.
So I've left them voicemails. This Nicole Van Holzer, I don't mind to say her name out loud because you can find her on the Google. She's an associate.
You can probably find her LinkedIn and everything.
She's on LinkedIn, but she's an associate PR for the kids. She's the only person that Switchboard will actually give you. If you ask for PR for the children's books, that's who they give you. She doesn't answer her phone. I've gotten her voicemail over and over and over again.
She might not even exist. This could be a fake person who's
could
had
be.
a fake
I don't
profile
know.
Set up by
but
I've
been trying to get Random House to call attention, and I started putting out. I have very few celebrities that follow me on on Twitter, but I actually do have a few. Kristen Bell follows me on Twitter. Biff Naked follows me on Twitter, and then there's a lot of celebrities I follow that don't necessarily follow me. But I put some retweet requests out this week. Biff Naked did actually. You ever seen the movie? You ever seen the show Continuum?
No.
Love the show Continuum. So I got a shout out for Rachel, the lead actress from that show. She retweeted it. That's blew.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
How many total retweets did you get?
Like 150.
That's a lot.
I mean, it started blowing up. I got a lot of replies. A lot of new people following me as a result. So the link is askthemct.com. There is my personal blog that I wrote about this letter. I want everyone, or tinyurl.com/Barbie book. That's the short URL I created for the open letter that I wrote to Random House, and you'll be able to see that right here.
And trust me, the book is terrible.
It's horrible. So on Tuesday,
it set women's rights back farther than Twilight, and
it's bad. It's just bad. So this Tuesday, I have an interview with a girl who actually wrote an article about this already, and she's published that. She's in IT. We're going to be talking to her on Tuesday. That'll be in the segment. I have another interview probably next week that I'm going to do with a girl by the name of Rachel Apple. Rachel is actually going to be one of the co-hosts in the science podcast. You'll get to see more of her, obviously, outside of this segment. But I'll be doing some Skype interviews with these girls because they're all over the country, the people I'm trying to do interviews with. And I'm still trying desperately. Random House, if you're listening. And by the way, tweet at Random House and tell them
if you wanna get this blown up for us.
Right.
Do us a huge favor. Tweet at Random House.
Tweet at Random House.
Tell them you want them to deal with this.
At Stephen Ray and hashtag Barbie book. Because, and I'll be putting your tweets if you want. I'll put your tweets. I'll put those in a segment
if anything,
too.
Yeah, we'll put them in a segment, or we'll scroll them through the credits.
Yeah.
We will let you. I mean, we'll put you out there.
And call us if you're female, and even if you're not female. But I really want to hear from the women in IT. I really, really do. I need to get your friend Liz to drop us a note too.
Okay.
You need to talk to her. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd like to get her opinion on this. Talk to us. Let us know. 480-STUPID9. Show at thatstupidpodcast.com. If you want to do your own video, 3 to 5 minutes or something,
Feel free.
Shoot it, put it up on YouTube, send me the link.
Yeah, we'll
show
get
at thatstupidpodcast.com.
We will show you support as long as you show us support in
Yeah.
getting this book dealt with, because it's terrible.
It needs to be fixed.
And it needs to be gone.
It either needs to be gotten rid of or rewritten.
Absolutely.
And I actually would love to see it rewritten.
I would have no problem with that, because you know what? It should. I mean,
Totally.
you need strong female role models,
Yeah.
especially for kids. You do.
Yeah. I think maybe Joss Whedon should write this book. Wouldn't that? Because
You
look,
think Joss Whedon should write everything?
Joss Whedon knows how to do strong female roles. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't tell you. Yeah.
Thank you.
He used to know how to do strong female roles, but I don't. You know what show I'm going to discuss that I don't like?
Go ahead.
I want you to say it. I don't even want to say the name of it.
No.
I'm not going to say it. Let's just say that there is a show that Joss Whedon made in the future that might involve its name being something little girls would play with, and I didn't exactly like the show because it was terrible. So
I love Elijah Dushku. I'm just saying.
yeah, well, Douche Coo, that show.
Or Dushku?
I don't know.
I always screw her name up.
She's a great
talking about-
actress, but you can't carry the show. She couldn't carry it.
She carried the show for me. I love Dollhouse, damn it. It was a great show.
Point being, that's been this...
when I was thinking about female leads, I was more thinking Keeley from Firefly.
Well, see, I
personally.
wasn't thinking that. I was thinking Buffy.
Well, Buffy too. Well, yeah, Buffy's too obvious for me. I like his the supporting women that he does that are strong that you just don't see as strong right away. Like even in Firefly, you think to
Willow.
you think
just shoot Willow out
right.
there for
Everybody
Buffy,
thinks
yeah.
to Willow in Firefly or Buffy. Oh God, I just fandom. People are gonna hate. Send your hate mail to Rev.
I got my peanut butter and my chocolate, my chocolate and my peanut butter.
Well, I was thinking Firefly, and you dropped Willow, a little Buffy reference on me, and completely screwed me. So I did. By the way, Willow is actually my favorite character in Buffy. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's no knock to Sarah Michelle Gellar,
No,
by the way,
because she's totally watching this right now, going, "That son of a bitch."
yeah. I like her new show actually,
I
the Crazy
don't
Ones
know.
with Robin Williams.
I don't watch a lot of TV.
It's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. It won't last a season, unfortunately.
Well, guys, seriously, give us your input, give us your information, give us
And
your
if you have a
emails.
show idea or a segment idea, let us know that too.
Holler at us.
So we're looking to open some new podcasts up. We got the science one we've already mentioned.
We're gonna do food porn.
We are going to do a new show called Food Porn. Don't yet know when that's going to start.
Put it in my tummy, in my
So,
belly.
and what food? Just let's give them a little.
All right,
teaser.
basically what food porn is going to be is I'm going to invite somebody over to Steven's house, because I like to invite people to your house, not mine.
Right,
Because
right.
yours is actually open and there's nice things here. And I live in a shithole rat house. No, I really don't. But we're going to invite
Well, you live in a
here.
small apartment, and
Yeah.
you know it's.
We're going to invite people here. They're going to tell you about a dish,
Right.
and they're going to cook it, and they're going to give us the instructions. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat it. And Steven may join me in eating it.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you. I'm kind of going to judge it.
We're
you
going to
know?
judge it, and I don't know who else we're going to. I don't know how many hosts we're going to do that show, because what I'd like to do with that show is more than just the two of us.
Yeah.
Kind of host it. So the very first dish that we're probably going to do, and where this all started, you heard us talking earlier about the
Dinner
Facebook
parties.
friends,
Yeah.
the dinner parties thing that I started. That really comes from me losing weight and just getting more social. Well, the first dish that I'm going to do is a lemon herb salmon with garlic roasted potatoes.
Yeah.
And pan seared
that's going to be our first one, and I'm going to try it, and I'm going to judge it. And if Steven cries, it's going to be awkward, but you know what? I'm going to judge it fairly.
You're going to cry because it's going to be so
It's
good.
so good that I'm just
Well, tomorrow is super. So he mentioned February 1st,
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday. Well, tomorrow is February 2nd. It's Groundhog Day. Well, it's not just Groundhog Day, people. It's Chili Cook-Off Day.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Casey from the Bookworm, Rev here from That Stupid
Throwing
Podcast.
down.
We're throwing down. Might even tape some of that tomorrow for
right.
as far as the food porn, but
I'm going to be drunk. If you see any of that footage, I'm going to be
it's going to be
drunk as hell.
awesome. So there's one more thing to talk about before we close the show.
Are we going to do the Super Bowl predictions?
Oh, we should
'Cause
totally do that.
I was going to ask you, I'm taking Broncos. No questions asked. In my mind, Peyton Manning is a better overall quarterback, got a better overall team.
All right. So I was gonna, but because I want to take a different side, just for
gonna take
just for the
Seahawks?
spirit of the argument, I was actually gonna go with Broncos, but I'm gonna go Seahawks.
But he knows the Broncos are going to. But for sake of
I
fun.
do.
Yeah.
Well, The Simpsons called it like 5 years ago.
I know.
You
I
see
saw
somebody
that.
posted on
Somebody
Facebook.
posted that on the end of the football
It's like,
memes.
that is so awesome. As it's February 1st, we talked about Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yep.
There's something else that was happening on February 1st. Do you remember?
Contest.
We had a contest for the month of February. We were giving away Portal and Portal 2.
Yeah, which
by
is
the way, the best
good
games
retail
ever.
value of like $50.
Not anymore.
No, I would say that
I think it's worth $50, but you can buy them.
It's probably $50 unless it's on sale.
Well, I only buy stuff when it's on sale on Steam because I've spent. So I looked my number up. Shut up.
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't.
Yeah.
How much? How bad? It was bad, wasn't it?
It's $4,000.
Holy shit!
It was $4,000 almost. It was like $3,900 I've spent.
God, that's painful.
The butt hurt. That's nothing. I got my tax statement every time. You have to pay taxes on purchases from Amazon.
Absolutely.
So now they charge tax, so it's a lot easier to deal with. But
Yeah.
like every January, I get a letter from Amazon.
Technically, you don't have to pay tax if it's under a certain amount. Oh, that's right.
So every year, I get a letter from Amazon.
How much was it this year?
It was $12,000.
I'm sorry. What?
I spent $12,000 on Amazon last year. I spent $14,000 the year before that.
That's $1,200 in taxes that you would essentially pay for Tennessee. That's $1,200. By the way, if you're going, oh my God, is their tax rate 10%? Yes, our tax rate's 10%, but we don't have state tax, so suck it.
Yeah, we don't have income tax, but we pay 9.75%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was more than that the year before. But I have a problem.
You buy everything on Amazon.
I do. Well, I do.
Who's the winner of the contest? Who
So,
won? I'm going to pretend to be shocked like I don't already know the results.
I know. So the winner of the Portal 2 giveaway on Steam is Ted S. from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Ted, you won some games that we already knew you won because I found this out like 5 minutes ago. So
by the time everybody sees this, I'll have already emailed Ted and gotten his
he'll get
information,
his codes
and we'll do the
hook
transfer.
you up, and maybe we'll get a picture of him like, next to his computer monitor,
going,
or
look at the
something."
game. Yeah. So
Get that confirmed.
congratulations,
It's on Facebook.
Ted.
Other than
And,
that, do we got anything else this week?
Nothing else this week, but look around. We got more shows coming every week.
New stuff coming at you. There is a reason that we're a network.
That's right.
And we're just getting started, so stick around for more shows. If we don't have something you're interested in now, we will probably in a month.
And later this year, Dragon Con.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, seriously, we're going live at Dragon Con this year.
Yep. So stick around.
Stick around. I guess we'll see them next week, yeah? We'll see
Same
all
bad
of you.
time.
Same bad channel. Deuces. He's gonna get his stuff ready.
Okay.
This is his ready song. I sing it to him when he's getting ready. I'm in a very Jake the Dog singing mood lately. I don't know why.
Making pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take the bacon and you put it in the pancakes.